Oh my God, that was so hard. And I want to die. Welcome back to day 3. It's 5:45 a.m. I woke up like 30 minutes ago and I feel fine. Anyway, I'm eating a bagel with some jam or some jelly for breakfast. Trying to keep it light because I'm going to get my run done early before it gets hot. Today I have a 12-kilometer run, so just over 6 miles. And it has 10,000 meter repeats or intervals. So the way the program is written is I want to warm up for 1 kilometer. So just kind of run for 1 kilometer at like zone 2 or below, just to kind of warm up. And then I want to run 1 kilometer at my tempo pace. So not my threshold pace, but my tempo pace. And that's zone 3. Run 1 kilometer at my tempo pace and then slow down for a whole minute. Either walk or, light jog, and then do it again. And I'm going to do that 10 times. The total amount of distance I should cover during the session is 12 kilometers. So 10 kilometers of that will be in tempo, 1 kilometer will be in the warm-up, and there may be a 1 kilometer cool down, or depending on how far I go in those like 1 minute rest times, could be the other kilometer. So the interesting thing about like why it's like this, sometimes it's weird, like, okay, that's fancy, right? You're like going fast and slowing down, like what for? So usually 80% of your running should be in zone 2 or easy runs. So, Monday's time trial next week will probably just be like a recovery run or an easy run. This run, my second run of the week, will be the harder run. These are the runs where we want to go into zone 3 or zone 4 in just in intervals to start. And the idea is to train my body to be able to flush out lactate, right? So that's the stuff that builds up when you're running in your blood. And when you build up too much, you hit your threshold. When you go beyond your threshold, you have to slow down. And you don't want to slow down. You want to keep going. So usually this training is done in zone 4. But because I'm just starting, we're starting with zone 3, right? We start lighter. So we start lighter with 10,000 meter intervals at zone 3, just to get me used to going faster and teaching my body how to flush that lactate out. So that's the purpose of the intervals. And you only got to do them like once a week, because all the other runs in the week, if I'm doing 4 runs, 3 of them are going to be easy, 1's going to be hard. That should be a good ratio. I do a lot of strength training, and we program similarly in strength training. Like if someone's prepping for a powerlifting meet, we don't have them doing max all-out effort singles all the time throughout their blocks and stuff like that. We expose them to some heavy 1 reps, but these are at like RP 6, 7, 8, heavy enough to give them the skill to handle heavy weight, just like I'm going fast enough to get the skill of going fast, but not max all out. And then the majority of the volume sets that they're doing are going to be easier sets. They're going to be in like the 70% range. And this is the same thing with running. You just kind of got to know which factors match up to what, but same thing. So that's what we're going to do today. I'll see you guys out. We're going to a park nearby that has a 1 kilometer loop. Christy said that's the loop that she ran when she was running this program. So yeah. Okay, let's get to eating this bagel. All right, take 2. I did a whole long spiel after getting here thinking that I was recording and I wasn't. So I'm heading to like a 1 kilometer loop, like I mentioned earlier. There's some trees and benches. That's where I'm going to put my bag with water. And we'll do some dynamic stuff and warm up. So let's go. I mentioned yesterday that reverse lunges always hit my glutes, and I was right. I feel it in my glutes today. Also, my calves are still sore from Monday, and my right meniscus feels. I'm complaining. That's fine. It's my run. It's my video. I can complain. First interval done. So now I'm walking for a minute. Just let my heart rate get back down. So in that minute, like
I was at around 155 heart beats per minute. So I'll walk for a minute. Hopefully I'll get back down to like 145 or less, and then or fewer beats per minute, and then we'll do it again. So I got 9 more intervals of that, and yeah, easier than I thought it would be, because it's a tempo pace, and I've been at this for almost a year, like just 2 to 3 times a week running, always keeping my heart rate like under 150, but some runs, you know, going into zone 3 or threshold, but just when it felt right. Oh, there it is, we're about to start. Third interval is almost complete. Just waiting for it to give me my rest time. There it is, we're resting. So it is requiring more mental effort to get myself to a pace that keeps me in zone 3. But once I'm there, I'm good. If my heart rate goes above 158, my watch will tell me. And I'm trying to stay, 158 is the upper limit. I'm trying to stay closer to 156. Just from lifting weights, I know that you don't have to, like if you have a range, you don't have to be at the top end of the range. You can be in the middle or at the bottom end and make progress. And for me, I've always found that towards the bottom to middle intensity, that's where I just develop the best. Up 10 seconds. We'll get back into number 4. We're in interval number 4, and my pace is definitely slowing to maintain the 155 heart rate, which is okay. It's like so if you're a runner and you're trying to start lifting weights, you know that with this pace, it's okay to kind of go slower to maintain the heart rate. The same thing is true if you're starting to lift weights. Let's say you do, I don't know, bench press, and it's 135 pounds for 8, and on that first set you're like, oh yeah, I could have gone for 10, and then you do 8 on the second set, but that's like a max effort, like, oh yeah, I couldn't have done 10 after that one. It's okay to reduce the weight, just like you would reduce your pace, to maintain your target intensity. So you don't try to do 135 again, right? Like you did it for 10, that was 2 left in the tank. You did it for 8, that was a max effort. It's okay to reduce that weight by like 10% for another set of 8, and to see, you know, because the fatigue will accumulate. As you become better trained, just like with running, you wouldn't necessarily need to slow your pace to maintain the heart rate. Same thing is true of weightlifting. As you get stronger, you don't necessarily need to reduce the weight to maintain the intensity. So it's all the same, as they say in Thailand. Okay, all right, I need to slow down. I'm in the 8th interval, and it's hilarious because like I'm barely moving at this point, so it's a lot. But just it's kind of like with weightlifting, the weights don't matter. Like the weight that you're moving doesn't matter. And same here, the pace doesn't matter. It's just hitting the appropriate intensity and volume for a long enough time, and the pace will get faster, just like the weights go up. So I just carry the discipline I've learned from lifting weights, just carrying that over into running. And for those of you that are runners, the same is true of lifting weights. Don't compare yourself to the guy who's squatting 300 pounds, 400 pounds or whatever, if you're just starting. Just like with your pace, it doesn't matter. The weight on the bar doesn't matter. It's about accumulating the appropriate amount of volume at the appropriate intensity over a long enough duration. All right, I am all done. Gonna drink some water here, catch my breath. That wasn't as bad as I initially thought it would be before I started the program. For sure, I would not have been able to do that in zone 4. I think I would have ended up running it completely out of gas by the 5th interval if I tried doing those in zone 4. But starting off zone 3, even though I had to really slow my pace, for the last 3-4 intervals, it was good, and my legs are tired, so now I'm looking forward to having a breakfast, and that's it for today's training. Nothing too much. So yeah, bye. Bye, dear.